Bang, 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 open this gate. I'm late. That's how my Monday started. 6 a.m., half awake. Coffee barely brewed with Karen Whitfield, the HOA president, pounding on my ranch gate like she was kicking off a police raid, screaming like her Range Rover just ran out of gas in the desert. You know what I mean? In 24 years delivering mail, I never thought the day would come when someone was demanding to get into my property instead of chasing me off with a dog or a shotgun. But that was Karen. And this is the story of how one woman called the cops on me 23 times in 30 days. No exaggeration. If you've ever tangled with an HOA, especially in Texas, grab your coffee and settle in. Let me back up just a hair. 3 months earlier, I'd bought Morning Star Ranch from a guy named Bill, who looked me dead in the eye and said, "You'll love the place, Tom, but watch out for Karen. She's been using that road for 20 years and acts like she owns it." I figured, hey, neighborly's the way to go. I waved every morning as she barreled through my land, sometimes even stopped to let her book club of Range Rovers rumble across the pasture for what she claimed were heritage tours. I tried not to mind even when she ran over 3 of my chickens. Shouldn't have been in the road, she'd said, like I was letting my kids play on the interstate. The straw that broke me. It was a sunny Sunday, just as I was setting up the grill when I spotted Karen, microphone in hand, leading a bunch of strangers through my barn, spinning tales about our community's heritage. Like, "Ma'am, that's my property, not your living room." That night I dove into Texas property law. No easement, no public right-of-way, nothing but years of cowardly owners too polite to say no. So next morning, I install a steel electric gate keypad, automatic the works. I felt a twinge of guilt, but that vanished fast when I thought about dead chickens and tire tracks in my wildflower meadow. I'd delivered mail through storms and Texas heat for this dream. I wasn't about to have it trampled. Which brings us back to Karen. Losing her mind at 6 a.m., she's dressed for war. Face red hair coming loose, jabbing at the gate with a finger that looked like it could poke through steel. This is a community thoroughfare. "Tom, I have a board meeting in 20 minutes. I sipped my coffee, let her stew. Morning. "Karen, beautiful day." She called 911. "This is Karen Whitfield, president of Willowbrook Estates. I'm being held hostage by a mailman who's blocked a public road hostage. Never mind, she was free to leave at any time." Sheriff Mike showed up. Took one look at me in my pajamas, coffee in hand, Karen ranting and pacing, and you could tell he was biting his tongue. "Tom, Karen says you're holding her hostage," he deadpanned. "Well, Mike, if standing on my porch with a cup of coffee counts as kidnapping, then call in the feds." Mike explained. No easement, no right-of-way, nothing in the records. Karen screeched, stormed off, and promised revenge. That first 911 call. That was just Monday. By Tuesday, I'd gotten a 3-page certified HOA letter demanding the removal of my non-conforming structure, my gate, within 72 hours. They claimed it violated the aesthetic standards of Willowbrook, which was rich since my ranch wasn't even in Willowbrook. Rodriguez, my old buddy from the mail route, just shook his head. "That woman's been calling the post office, too." I had to laugh, never once used her driveway to deliver mail. But Karen wasn't done. Wednesday, she calls an emergency HOA meeting right in my pasture. Sets up folding chairs, brings a PA system. I only knew because my anonymous source, bless the internet, sent me screenshots of her meltdown posts on the neighborhood page. About 70% of the replies told her to leave me alone. The other 30% were ready to storm my ranch with torches and pitchforks. That afternoon, my daughter, Emma, 16, smarter than both of us, shows up with security cam footage. "Dad, look at this." She'd caught Karen's laptop screen through her Range Rover window, clear as day, a property deed listing my ranch under Whitfield Holdings, LLC. The pieces snapped together. Karen was trying to claim my ranch for some bigger scheme. I called the county no record, but yes, faking property docs is a felony. Decided to wait and see just how far Karen would go. Thursday. Karen arrived with a survey crew, really her nephew and his buddy, armed with a measuring tape. They discovered my fence was 3 feet over the line, but my actual survey, legit notarized, proved otherwise. She let it slip, hissing, "Do you know what you're costing me?" 20 years I've been setting this up." Then she caught herself and started ranting about community rights again, but the mask had dropped. Friday, the 911 calls started coming like clockwork horses too close to her property. My gate blocking emergency vehicle access, you name it. Sheriff Mike just brought bigger coffees. We chatted about fishing and Karen screamed in the background. "Tom," he said once, 30 years a cop. I've never seen someone try so hard to invent a crime." But the circus truly rolled into town on Saturday. Emma found an email printout in the yard, a timeline for Morningstar Ranch acquisition. Later, she got a batch of emails from the HOA board. Karen was in talks with a developer, promised a $20 million finder's fee if she delivered both the HOA land and my ranch for a luxury resort. No wonder she was desperate. Right on cue, I get a call, "Mr. Anderson. This is Richard Whitfield. I hear you've been having some trouble with my ex-wife. Let's talk." Karen, meanwhile, rallies 15 people in matching Save Our Heritage Path shirts for a Sunday protest outside my gate. She's got a megaphone chanting, "We shall not be moved." I sit on the porch lawn chair, mug in hand, and offer water. When that doesn't rattle me, she launches a drone over my chickens. I record her trespassing. Half her protesters slip away quietly. Sheriff Mike, visit number 8, tells her the drone needs to stay on her side, then gives me a tired look. "Can we maybe take a break from whatever this is?" Monday. Emma and I go fishing, finally some peace. She worries about me. "Dad, you're stubborn, but I'm proud of you." I tell her, "We can't let people walk all over us. This is our home." Next morning, Karen brings in a well-drilling crew, says she's hunting for a historic community well. They hit my old spring line flood the access road, and Karen blames me for sabotage. Sheriff Mike doesn't even bother showing up this time. By midweek, my source tips me Karen's planning to annex your ranch at the next emergency HOA meeting. Plan B coming Friday. Watch your back. I check fences, cameras, triple lock everything. Thursday, the well crew returns to fix the damage and hands me a check. Karen stiffed them and tried to blame the flooding on me, but their photos prove otherwise. Then at 10 a.m., I'm served 6 lawsuits from Karen: emotional distress, agricultural terrorism, monopolistic control of traditional pathways, creative, I'll give her that. Emergency court hearing at 2. I show up in my best jeans. Karen's in a suit with 3 miserable-looking lawyers. Judge Harrison, whose mail I used to deliver, reads the paperwork, then sighs. Mrs. Whitfield, agricultural terrorism. On his own property, her lawyer tries to explain, but the judge cuts him off. "Son, I've heard a lot, but this takes the cake." Dismisses everything, threatens sanctions for more frivolous suits. On the drive home, Emma calls Dad. "You need to see this. Someone leaked Karen's emails. Celestial Developments, a $200 million resort. $20 million finder's fee if she delivers by the end of the month. And she's stolen over $400,000 from the HOA for drones drilling even a PI to dig up dirt on you. The CEO, Richard Whitfield, Karen's ex. This wasn't just business, it was revenge. Richard calls. Wants to meet at the diner, 8 a.m. Friday. I show up early. Richard is every inch the Texas oil exec, but more tired than smug. He lays it out Karen's burned through her money, maxed out her credit, and is still convinced she can force me to sell. "We don't even need your ranch, Tom," he says, but Karen won't listen. She'll destroy herself and everyone around her before she admits defeat. Just as we're wrapping up, Emma texts, "Dad, come home now. Something's happening." Richard tells me, "Check your security cameras from 5 a.m. At my gate, I find a crowd, HOA board surveyors, even some local officials. Karen's waving documents claiming I sold the ranch. I check my camera, 5 a.m. Karen arguing with a man in a suit who storms off and hands her a letter. I fish it out of the ditch, a formal letter from Celestial withdrawing from any deal involving my property, threatening legal action if she keeps using their name. Emma calls Sheriff Mike, crowd's getting ugly. Someone shouts, "Karen, did you spend $400,000 of our money?" She melts down, blaming everyone but herself. Sheriff Mike disperses the crowd, pulls Karen aside, and as the others leave, she throws one last glare. "You've ruined everything. 20 years and you ruined it all. And for the first time, she sounds truly broken. Saturday, I find my gate lock glued shut. Professional job, says the locksmith. Richard calls. Karen tried to break into his house at 3 a.m. He's filing a restraining order. Meanwhile, HOA members are revolting, demanding a forensic audit. By evening, Sheriff Mike brings a warning. Karen's telling people I'm conspiring with her ex, demanding a full investigation. Might want to stay somewhere else, he says. I tell him not a chance. That night I load my old shotgun, never needed it before. But this was Texas, and visible deterrence keeps honest folks honest. Emma hugs me scared. Mom would be proud, she says, and that hits harder than anything. At 2 a.m., all my security lights trip Karen's at my gate with about 17 supporters and a bulldozer. She's wearing tactical gear, holding what looks like a gun, and starts shouting through a megaphone. You took everything from me, Tom. The bulldozer revs. People get nervous, but most just want to go home. Emma live streams the whole thing, 50,000 viewers by the time Sheriff Mike's cruisers roll up. I keep calm, talk her down. Karen, this isn't you. Put the gun down. She hesitates, then breaks crying, admitting her daughter won't talk to her. She's bankrupt. Everything's gone. The gun falls. It's a water gun. She looks at it, laughs, and just deflates. Sheriff Mike arrests her for trespass, theft, and fraud. As they drive away, she calls back, "Sorry about your chickens." And for a second, I almost feel bad. But not enough to miss the moment her schemes, the fake deeds, the drones, all undone by a water gun and a daughter's heartbreak. 6 months later, the HOA is history. The ranch is quiet, and Richard's resort got built miles away. Karen's doing time, but Emma tells me Karen and her daughter are talking again. Second chances, I guess, and I still have my gate, my ranch, and a sign that says visitors welcome, use the front entrance. So what did we learn? Maybe nothing, maybe everything. But I know one thing. When someone tells you to go around, just go around. That's life. Now tell me who was right, who was wrong. Where's the line between community and control? I want to hear your take. Let's talk it out.